with Graziano and Steve Smith Sr. Steve, how about the second-year receiver, Emeka Egbuka, making this catch in OTAs?
That's amazing. And then to get off, to catch the ball, keep his balance, and then take off and finish it the right way. Finish it like it's a game. Then you got a wide receiver down there blocking as well. Man, that's the end game. That's what you want to have from young guys practicing.
Kid is really good, and obviously they'll look for him to step up this year with Mike Evans now on his way. All right, Steve Smith Sr. in here with us. We're looking forward to this hopefully being the first of many times. And Dan Graziano, we have big wide receiver news, or at least we have had it.
There will be.
We are waiting on it, and we are expecting it. What are we waiting here on with A.J. Brown?
A.J. Brown still expected to be traded from the Eagles to the New England Patriots as early as next week. They have to wait until after June 1st, which is Monday, to do the deal for salary cap purposes. Once June 1st comes and goes, the expectation is that A.J. Brown will be dealt and that the Patriots are still the most likely landing spot. A.J. has not been around the Eagles and OTAs. I think there's definitely a feeling around that place as if they're moving on without him.
So it begets a lot of questions. And the first one for you, Steve Smith Sr., is this.
Yeah.
Is Devontae Smith ready to become a number one receiver in the absence of A.J. Brown?
Yeah, of course he is. He's been waiting and biting, chomping at the bit for his opportunity. A.J. Brown is an alpha, and I would say he's 1A. Devontae Smith is 1B. And then when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles and why they are doing all of the things at the wide receiver, they are setting the stage, understanding that A.J. Brown will not be there.
Right.
Devontae Smith, he's the number one wide receiver. He's been waiting for that opportunity. He runs great routes. They move him all over the field. Now with the new offensive coordinator who was with the Miami Dolphins for 7 years, that's also a Mike McDaniels / Sean McVay / Kyle Shanahan, that offense. So they're going to move him around, and he's going to shine and show you that he's a hell of a wide receiver.
So what should we expect it to look like? That offense has morphed into so many different things over the years. Give me a rough idea. What should we expect this offense to look like without A.J. Brown?
Well, this offense is going to look like it's going to be more spread. It's obviously going to work across the middle. That's something that obviously Jalen Hurts has not done well, but he has to do it because this offense is going to be created. And look who they got. Devontae Smith, Smith is going to work outside.
Right.
Mekhi Lemon, where's he going to work?
Inside.
He's going to work himself in the middle. And then, obviously, Dallas Goedert, he needs to get more opportunities. He's been hurt, but he's available. He's also, had some issues going on with lack of receptions. So this year, for me, I believe is the get right. This is where they're going to get right, or they're going to have to make a decision on Jalen Hurts. Is this a Carson Wentz kind of situation where we like you so much, we drafted a second-round pick, now we're ready for him to step up?
I mean, Dan, I feel like I've had a lot of people come through here, and this is really striking a chord with me, suggesting that there is some make-or-break element to this season for Jalen Hurts, despite all the games he's won and the Super Bowl trophy that he's got.
There's $22 million in guarantees for 2027 in his contract. So normally in the past, you would say that probably locks a guy in, but things have changed with how teams operate in terms of their cash spend and their cap spend. The Eagles were at the forefront of this. They traded Carson Wentz when the dead money number was still massive. It wouldn't look that massive now that Russell Wilson's dead money was $80 million and Tua's $99. But so if it went badly this year and there's no contract extension done in the meantime, you could absolutely see a situation where the Eagles would be at least talking about moving off of Jalen Hurts. What we've heard so far this offseason about, potentially his role in the struggles that the offense had last year, there's a lot of new to this offense. A lot of stuff Jalen Hurts and the rest of the Eagles have not been doing on offense. They have 3 or 4 months to pick this up and master it. If it goes badly, I do think the Eagles are kind of an organization where change is not off the table.
Well, I've been told that he has been working on some things. He's coming to the office and said, hey, Coach, what do I need to work on? So Jalen Hurts gets a lot of flack because he's a winning quarterback, and people expect a lot more out of him and be more well-rounded and obviously throwing in the middle of the field. But I'm telling you, he can play football, and I think acquiring this new offensive coordinator is going to give him a little bit of sense to challenge him. And then also, reading the tea leaves, the Philadelphia Eagles have always been a team that builds from the inside out. Yeah. They always get ahead of the trend before it becomes a problem. And now I think they're going in that direction, and the writing is on the wall. We need our quarterback to be more efficient and less risk-averse. He loves to protect the football, but sometimes he's protected the football so much that it has crippled the offense.
Okay, fascinating. So we got much more on them to go. Let me give you something on Minnesota here. Justin Jefferson, who, in the opinion of many, is the best receiver in the entire National Football League. He saw a huge dip in his numbers last year. Now, those numbers would look really good for most humans, but Justin Jefferson is not most humans, and all of this can be attributed to the struggles they had at quarterback last year. So, Graziano, as they bring in Kyler Murray, what is the sense you get of that quarterback competition and how it will impact their star receiver?
The expectation around the league is that Murray will win the job. He's got the experience. He's got a higher level of athleticism that they think can benefit the offense. The Minnesota Vikings are not giving up on J.J. McCarthy. There is still some hope in that organization that the light comes on, that maybe even McCarthy could beat Kyler Murray out for the job. We remember how bad McCarthy was last year. For some reason, we forget about Kyler Murray, who got hurt and then lost his job to Jacoby Brissett. Kyler Murray's not exactly a finished product that they can just plug and play here. He's got to show them something, too. And he's not signed beyond this year, so they're not committed to him beyond this year. This could still go a number of different ways. Justin Jefferson knows there's a veteran in the room that's had success in the NFL, and that matters in terms of acknowledging what went on last year and it not being good enough.
What do you think, Steve? What do you expect from Kyler Murray?
God bless him. Justin Jefferson probably needs to read that book that A.J. Brown was using on the sideline. I don't see a chance. And in fact, J.J. McCarthy, you know who could beat J.J. McCarthy? Anybody with a heartbeat. And Kyler Murray, good luck. I hope things improve for him. I hope he stays off the Call of Duty and start getting his playbook.
The Justin Jefferson of it all. I work with Randy Moss on Sundays, and he was very complimentary of how Justin Jefferson never lost his cool last year, didn't show up as quarterback, the body language, all that sort of thing. You're a wide receiver. How challenging is that?
Super challenging. It's going to be, and then to have it possibly 2 years in a row, it's going to be challenging. He's going to need to use all of the things that you need to calm yourself, meditating, yoga, right? Hot yoga, cold yoga, yoga mat, everything. Infrared sauna, infrared mat sauna. He's going to need all of that stuff to be able to get rid of the anxiety and the inflammation of I don't know what the hell is going on at quarterback that he's going to need.
All right, so there's one vote for not completely confident in football. John Harbaugh said yesterday he's unsure if Malik Nabers will be ready to go for Week 1 when the Giants play Sunday night at home against the Cowboys. Harbaugh said that Nabers is dealing with, quote, not a simple knee injury, and that the star receiver has undergone 2 surgeries since he got hurt in September. Again, Steve Smith Sr. is in with us today alongside our insider, Dan Graziano. Dan, I feel like the things I'm hearing about Malik Nabers, generally speaking, have been concerning the last week or so.
I would agree. He did not have, the second surgery was not pre-planned. The second surgery was because the recovery from the first surgery wasn't going as planned. So we can call that a setback, and Malik Nabers' recovery has been challenging. Week 1, sure, they can hope for it, but ultimately, I don't believe the Giants feel like Week 1 is as important as getting Malik Nabers back to being Malik Nabers. And that is the question. When can that happen? You could put him on the field early in the season, but if he's not explosive, if he's still working his way back from the injury, does that benefit him? Does it benefit you? So this is a situation to watch. The timetable is extremely unclear as a result of the way the recovery has gone, and I think we're just going to monitor it as the offseason goes along and see where it is once the season begins.
I hear what you're saying. It's a critical divisional game against Dallas and spotlight and all that kind of thing, but I understand what you mean. It's a long season. You played for John Harbaugh. We were having a fun conversation this morning over breakfast about what you think John Harbaugh will expect from this team as this season starts, with or without Malik Nabers.
Well, obviously with Malik Nabers not being on the field, but I also believe he has to play at some point just so he can get his football legs under him, but also his psychological mind of figuring out, hey, what can't I do or what can I do and what do I feel normal doing? And the biggest thing is whatever route you injured yourself with is always the last route you kind of want to test it out on. And so that's always going to be the biggest issue. But with John Harbaugh, the way things ended in Baltimore, how the team released a statement stating it was a mutual agreement, and then John Harbaugh's statement that didn't seem as mutual, it's going to be it's going to be fire. It's going to be a fire in the barn with the fireworks already inside. John Harbaugh is going to run practice. He expects this team, with Malik Nabers or without Malik Nabers, to step up, show that the mantra of John Harbaugh and the New York Giants are back. And John Harbaugh is not playing around. He's a little bit older than some of the other coaches. He knows that. John Harbaugh watches everything. He might be watching this, and he's going to say, we don't care who our opponent is. I expect us to show up and play football the way we need to play football. He wants to win the first preseason game, the last preseason game, and gosh darn it, he wants to make sure that they're winning the first game no matter what, and that no matter who is available or who is not available.
And again, it's against Dallas, so divisional game, huge game, rivalry. Care. I understand that piece of it. I think there is a sentiment amongst some, not all, but some, that this is a team that could take a big jump. And a lot of that will have to do with the quarterback. Are you a believer? Are you a believer they take a big jump? Are you a believer in Jaxson Dart?
Yeah, I believe in Jaxson Dart. I think he needs to take care. He needs to take care of himself and not put him in harm's way. He's a young kid, fresh legs. He's exciting, but he's learned a few times now. They hit, and they hit really hard, and so he's got to figure that out. But John Harbaugh is a physical type of head coach. He wants that physicalness. So he's bringing in those people, and he's also brought in a lot of other players that were in Baltimore with him. So he wants those players to emphasize what kind of identity that the Giants need to have and what he's expecting. And you don't always hear from the head coach. You get other guys in the locker room who says, hey, coach really wants it like this. And then the most interesting part about John Harbaugh, the way he runs practice is no other. It is a 2-hour minimum. My man will go 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds.
Yeah.
He is going to the nth degree of what is allowed to practice.
And sometimes beyond.
I don't dry snitch.
They've been docked OTA practices in Baltimore because of rules violations in the offseason, so that's not...
Quickly, the vibe's coming out of there. It's been a long time since they have felt positive. They feel very positive right now.
They do feel positive because of Harbaugh. The ceiling, I think, is capped if Malik Nabers if this is a year where he's getting his football legs under him and getting back right psychologically, which for him this year absolutely could be.
All right, we'll have to wait and see on all of that. There's going to be a big fight when they play the Cowboys on that Sunday night. There's also going to be a bunch of big fights this Sunday in Italy. Let's go there.